Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. And also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes along with everything else. I actually made that the title of this live stream because I was on before and then the internet gave out. So I wanted to rush back on. And so I'm sorry if you were on and then my internet went out. I live in St. Augustine and we are really busy with tourists right now because we have a Nights of Lights going on downtown, and that's the City of Lights where the entire city is lit up with thousands of lights. And so tourists from all over the world come into our town, but they're also using the internet. So the internet gets wacky, and I have my internet box, but I didn't hook it up yet. So I have to do that. Anyway, so thank you for being patient. Now, I want you guys to also know that shadow coaching is tonight. If you are on, I have another awesome topic. I always like to start those live streams off with a topic, a channel topic for like 10 minutes, and then go right into the oracle reading. And we obviously do Q&A in between the oracle reading and the channel, and then again after the oracle reading, and then our healing modality. So you still have time to sign up. It's tonight, I believe it's at 7 o'clock or 7:30. Also, give the gifts of healing. The shadow auto bracelets are in, and I got all, and I call them that because again, crystals are supposed to help heal and balance us, right? Well, how do they do that? Well, crystals represent psychological and emotional aspects of ourselves. Sometimes we need that medicine, just like totems. If you're into totems, the American Indians were into totems. They believe that animals gave us certain medicines. And they do because they have certain characteristics. Well, crystal's the same thing. So it's not so much that the crystal will heal you. It can help you align your energy to its frequency, but it's the awareness, right? And how do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think and the emotions that you have. So you just have to put in that effort. But when you wear the crystal bracelet, it reminds you. So I bought the entire abundance line. I just wanted you guys to know the entire abundance line so that you could get those for Christmas. I mean, they're beautiful too. We got Tiger's Eye. You got Jasper. You got Avitrine. So pretty. Pyrite. I mean, and a lot of others. I'm not going to waste your time. And it's citrine. I love the citrine. And I love the jade. The jade, you can't even see when I hold it up because of my... Oh, wait, you can because I'm not using a green screen. I love the jade. Look at how green. So pretty. You got tiger, a agate, black agate, this very grounding stone. So, I mean, these stones are so beautiful, and 15% off you get when you buy, and then 15% goes to saving the otters. So I love things that are in alignment with everything, right? What's good for everyone involved. Why? Because that's the way that the universe works. That's when we're in alignment, we're actually doing what's best for everyone, not just what's best for us. So that's important when you are looking at spiritual blockages and you're looking at shadows. All right. I just wanted to tell you guys about that because, Christmas shopping, and it's like, I don't like going shopping, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's like, but if I have to do it, I want it to be easy. So Amazon is kind of easy, but then sometimes it's not as personal, right? And that's the thing. If you're on this channel, you tend to be emotional, tend to be sensitive, intuitive. So You do things that way that are nurturing. All right. The underlining energy is self-observation. Let's take a peek at another one. Now, this is the underlining energy that just tells us why everyone does what they do. You know, very important when you're dealing with a person that creates facades and illusions, right? Disassociation. Ugh. So I feel like what you're noticing is that you're like, that you've been doing some self-observation, but you actually also are in connection with somebody that's also doing some self-observation. And what you're seeing is you always attract people that are like detached, like disassociated. It's like they need healing and they're disassociated from their feelings. They're fragmented. And what that is because there's also healing that you need to do, which is probably why you're on the channel. Like that's how that the underlining energy is that everybody is in a place of looking and saying, why does the relationship look like this? Like, and so you must have done something different, which is making this person actually look at themselves, because I feel like there's been no movement. There hasn't been any movement. So I want to just look and see where this person is, you know, like where's their mindset now? And then we'll figure out where we want to go from there. Sometimes I look at the blocks, but it's like, it's almost like, who cares? What does this person think? There was someone interfering in our relationship. So again, I feel like, I feel like that's a cop out. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when someone really wants to be in your life, they're going to set appropriate boundaries. They're going to do what they need to do. So was this person connected to someone else that they don't really have as strong feelings for? Yes. But is that person able to like guilt trip them? Yes. You know, and I understand that could have also been their mother. Didn't necessarily have to be a karmic. It could be just somebody that doesn't want this person to date you. And that's also a thing that you might be saying. Yeah, and I always get people like that. Like everything's fine in my relationship, but the people that are connected to this person. So there's always like this funky energy, and that funky energy is like nervous. I feel like I can't give you what you need. So I feel like you're in connection with somebody that talks to somebody else and they perceive you to be a certain way, but I don't think that you are that way. You know, if a person doesn't take the time to actually build that emotional connection, what do they know what they want? No, they don't know what they want. They're basing it on what? On someone else's opinion? Because somebody else didn't want this person to date you. Might not have wanted them to date anybody. You know, this like they treated it like it was just a fling. That's harsh, you know, and that's the thing. So this is the underlying energy that there was somebody interfering, so it wound up just almost being like a fling. Okay, does this person have any feelings at all? You make me want to be a better person. And I feel like that's probably because you didn't react, you know? Like, and for whatever reason, intuitively, I feel like the mask of whoever this person was talking to that was saying, don't go with this person, don't go to you, like that person's mask fell off, where your person's now looking and saying like, you know, she or he's not doing that. What you're telling me that they're low vibe. You're telling me that they're money hungry. You're telling me that they want to use me, that they're whatever they're feeding this person. And obviously someone that knows how to push the person's buttons and to instill fear in them. And so they're like, what they're saying is, wait a minute, that person is not like that, because they're watching you. And they're also saying, well, I treated this like it's just a fling. So obviously you would have every right to be like, who the fuck are you? Who the hell are you? Like, to be like, well, I want revenge. And that's not what you're doing. You didn't do that. However, this other person that this person was listening to and took this bad advice from is like putting a lot of effort and energy into making this person like perceive something, which in giving so much energy and effort is what exposed them. After a while, that's what triggered this person's intuition to finally take a look and be like, wait a minute. So this could have been like a past life karmic mate that this person was connected to. I feel like I don't deserve your love, and I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. And that's because of this person, right? That's because of this person. The person saying, oh, that person's high maintenance. That person's too good for you. That person would never be with you. You're a piece of shit. You're a loser. You don't, it's again, like, look what you do, like brings out this person's insecurities. Again, someone that knows this person, knows what buttons to push. And that's the thing. And so this person, now I don't know whether this person knows this on a conscious level, but intuitively, I feel like they know, meaning claircognizance, which is a spiritual connection, because it's like, again, it's just a knowing where they like being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you, but if not, I want you to love and nurture yourself. Well, bingo, this person isn't loving and nurturing themselves. And they're saying, well, why would you even want to be with me? I haven't treated you nicely. This person's like realizing that for whatever reason that they didn't treat you nicely. Not that they didn't know, but there's a thing of no, and there's a thing of, oh, I feel it, I know it. Like I know it in my gut. Where it's like they would detach, they would disassociate it. Disassociate it goes back to the beginning. That again, that this person, you're like, why doesn't the fuck this person keep giving a shit about what they did to me? And the reason why is because they would detect, they would dissociate it because they would listen to somebody else that's telling them not to date you, that they're not good enough for you, that once they see who you really are, they're going to leave you. You're going to take them for all their money. You're going to do all this crap. Like, and so this person, like I said, I'm conflicted whether or not I have what it takes to be your partner, literally. So again, this person has been surrounded by somebody that has worn down their self-esteem, has beat their self-esteem down to the ground. So you didn't get that version of them. So that's the thing. You want to know why this person isn't picking up the phone, why they're acting like they don't care. That's the reason why, because they're like, afraid to be vulnerable. They really think that you would leave or not like them. Okay, those fell, so we always have to take the ones that fall. Yes, because I feel like God pulled them. And it's so I'm going through a physical, emotional ascension symptoms. I need space to rest. But from a higher perception, I'm releasing old energy. So this person's changing, you see. Hey, Deb. Hey, Mr. West Ashley. And then we see I've watched you and grow. I've watched you grow, and I'm trying to release attachments to identity. Again, I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. You never like me. Again, so that they can change too. So we see that the old energy that they're releasing is actually the fact that they're like, wait a minute, I am worth more. I can. And really, that's what soulmate relationships are supposed to do. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you, which again, we see releasing fears. So the ascension is that it's like this person's like, why am I listening to somebody else, whether or not I want to come back to them? That's them. This person was projecting their own fears and limitations onto you the whole time. And so this forced them to have to go inside of themselves to actually do the healing work. And that's what soul relationships do. So it's not going to make sense because this person like was an asshole. They treated you like it was nothing. They treated you like it was a fling. And the person connected to them knows that. And what I feel like it's bothering this person because they're like, wait a minute, like you're telling me that this person's all like that, but that's not what I'm seeing. And this person's almost like, you can't trust what you think. You're stupid. Like, you look at all your relationships. Look at, like, again, like the person that's in their environment is beating them down. And unfortunately, what when we grow up in an environment with an abusive parent, then what happens is a lot of times we wind up in a codependent relationship, and we're bound to that same karmic theme, where now you're with a relationship where you do nothing good, and that you're an asshole, and that you're a piece of crap, and that you're bad, and it's, again, you're pounded down. So this person has been living from that level of consciousness for a long time. The only thing that would get them out of that is love, because we all know that karmic contracts are like, they're not good. Like, it's like you're bound to, like, your childhood trauma. You're bound to, like, that thought pattern, and you have to continually live it until you can figure out how to get out of it. And the thing is, if there's money and other things that are connected, it's obviously a lot harder to get out. So this person has been surrounded by someone else that has gaslighted, because they're jealous, and they're making that person jealous. I feel like they told them first, don't go to you. Again, make them come to you. And this person sat on it, and they listened to that person. Because, again, that person could have been a family member, but I feel like it's a karmic, like a past relationship, but more like a friend, but was like a frenemy. So somebody that this person considered a friend, even if they dated at one time, but this person's like still has feelings, is what I feel. And that's why they're jealous. They're like, I don't want you to go back to that person. I want you to wait. And this person listened, and this person's the karmic's mask fell off, because, again, they're empty. There's no real relationship. It's just this person knew them very well and was able to keep them in place of fear, and continues to. And so that also means that, your person is somebody that wasn't giving to that person. If anything, that person's jealous. But what we do see is your person was very impulsive. So that means it could be like, well, they went on shopping sprees every night. They have addictions. They have, again, they're an avoidant, and they're avoidant due to the trauma, meaning, like, they don't know how to handle the situation. They feel inadequate. They feel not good enough. They feel like there's something wrong with them. They're not balanced. you know they're actually imbalanced, like, which we know that. And the imbalance is due to the thought pattern. They're not coming from their real self, their true self. We're all energies of love. We're not who we are or what we are. I mean, we're not who we are not what we've done, is what I'm trying to say. We're not our emotions. We're not what we did to somebody else. We're not our actions. We're not our possessions. We are literally the energy of love, the energy of the universe. And the thing is, this person has been connected to a karmic this whole time that is jealous, that is mad. They're seething at the teeth, like, how dare you, like, go on. Again, I feel like this karmic stayed close to be like a friend, thinking that they were going to have their turn again, and that's not happening. And this is what your person is finally realizing, that they were in a place of imbalance. So, and that karmic was okay as long as this person focused just on the physical. So I feel like it's not that your person wanted to be with that person. Is that they had such a low self-esteem that they were listening to that person and then running around with other people to get their emotional needs met. The karmic was fine with that, because they're like, I don't care as long as you don't, like, date somebody else and go with somebody else. And so the thing is, now your person's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Everything that I've done to my person, they should be flipping out on me. They're not, but you keep telling me to do more horrible things to this person, and almost like, well, why? And what it is it's obstacles. It's like that karmic person was just like, let me put obstacles in your ways to make it really difficult for you to move forward because I know you want to go to that person. So I want whoever is waiting for you to think that you're not coming back. I want to affect you, not your person, but this person's trying to affect you by trying to make you angry, because they put themselves in this weird fucking competition, which really is not a competition. Is the fact that this person's so obsessive of losing your person to you have so much anxiety that the only thing that they can do is push your person into a place of being like intimidated by you. And that's the thing. It's because this person's parents treated them like that, beat them down to the ground, and there's this disillusion that they need to be perfect. There is no such thing as perfect, but people have that when they have shame. And it's because in order to, when you live like there's something wrong with you, like you're inadequate and you're not good enough, and you don't take those shots in life, whether that's a person, whether that's a job, whatever it is, you're doing something with your time, and so the old habit is the way that you think, but there's other things, again, to hide the fact of inadequacy, that this person, again, was wearing a mask. They were waiting for mass, but the whole time the karmic is saying, no, this person's going to come back to you. They're going to make them come back to you. You make them come back to you. When meanwhile, now your person's like, what the fuck? This is taking too long. By now, this person should have come back. They should have come back by now. And so again, they don't know what to do. So we knew that we were going to see addiction eventually, because it's how they deal with it. It's like they're connected to somebody else. Now the anxiety. So the whole time their intuition was telling them, but they weren't listening to the intuition. They were listening to that person because there was a past life connection with that person too. It's just that person's a karmic. It's like disguised as a twin flame. That's why this person is seething at the teeth, because your person's like, no, I want to go to this person. This person is my twin flame. That person is my person. And they're like, no, this is our relationship. This is like, we're like that. But they can't really say that over time. So they're just going to, again, play on this person's weakness, which is, I'm going to, make you feel like you're a piece of shit with a lot of criticism, triggering your inner child, and that's really what it is. And making that your person be like a martyr to them, like, oh, I'll fix it. I'll do it. And the karmic is like, as long as you don't go anywhere, I don't care. So it was really up to your person. You see, but they'll say someone was keeping them from you, but that's not true. They, at any time, they could have left. They weren't strong enough. But again, that they were on a low vibe. So what are they gonna do now that we know all that? It's like, because we know that let me pull from this deck. Like, we know that they starting to see everything. And we know that they're going through an awakening, right? But what does that actually mean? I wish I could fix things between us. So they're actually thinking about it. Like, can I even think about it? Like, I mean, like they were fucked up. Like, not to be frank. I mean, they acted like this was a fling. They acted like it didn't matter. They acted like, you know what I mean? Childhood wounding is influencing their actions. So again, that's, as long as that karmic's around, and this person is still keeping them around and being a martyr for them and thinking that they need to like be the fixer or, whatever, they're not going to do anything because they're in a place of insecurity. Obstacles. There's no obstacles. The obstacle is that person. Now, if that person was married to them, or they had money, or they had a joint thing, or a child or whatever did a tic tac, if they shared a tic tac, I'm telling you, this person would be like coming over there with the lawsuit papers, being like, I get the tic tac on Monday, Tuesday, and half on Wednesday, so you can't go out on Wednesday, and you also need to be home because I don't want the tic tac around anyone else. That's like how this person would be. Like, I'm going like a real, like, I'm going to control you, and I'm going to bully you, and I'm going to wear you down, and I'm going to do it every single day. Now, remember, it's your environment that creates your reality, right? So if every single day someone's telling you, I'm going to take your kid from you. You know what? You think that you're going to leave here? I'm going to take your kid. You're not going to be able to pay for shit. You're going to live in a fucking cardboard box and eat out of the dumpster. That's what I'm going to do to you. And that's what you're worth. That's what you're worth. You know, and you're hearing this every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. You know, you begin to get brainwashed. Like, maybe I should have liked that person. Maybe I should have tried. Maybe I should have. It's, again, maybe I am responsible for this person's happiness, this person's well-being, where they're not responsible, but that karmic is going to make them feel like it now because they're afraid. They're like, you're leaving. Like, I don't want you to leave. Like, what are you doing? Your person's like, oh my God, this whole fucking thing is making me wake up. Like, that's this person. They don't know what hit them. They're like shocked. Like, they have to release the old energy, and the old energy is, there's something wrong with me. But that's what this person is like. They're like, oh my God, I can't, you know? Yeah, well, it could have been, you know? Like that spiritual awakening is that it's like, oh my God, I'm stuck with this person. Who is this person? And am I that way? And like, they just don't see, can't really, like, spiritual awakening is heavy, like I said, because this person is doing a lot of self-observation. and, and they're like, what did I do? And who was that person that that I thought was this person? And look how I treated you. There's a lot of internal stuff going on that you're not seeing. And this person feels like they're going crazy. But I'll tell you one thing, that karmic is, I feel like that karmic is becoming so controlling that there's so much anxiety that there's like a lot of bipolar energy going on there. And it's because everyone's losing control. And so and the reason why is because it's got to end, and it's going to end through like the fact that the karmic did expose themselves, the mask fell off, you're not reacting. What this person has watched you on social media and what this person is telling them does not align. Their intuition is screaming at them. They realize that they should have not listened to that person a long time ago. That karmic, you better believe, is getting real emotional. I'm battling inner demons, and this person is being made to feel like there's something, like you're such a horrible person. That person's not going to want to be with you anyway. You're a piece of shit. This is like, look how you treated me. Look how you treated, that's not the type of person you are. Everything and anything that this person can say or do, if it's not social media, it's through other things. There is someone keeping me from you. This is the second time in a second deck. That's how this reading started. It's like no one's keeping this person from them. They have to make the decision to walk away. And yes, there will be consequences, clearly, because that karmic is crazy. And that karmic feels like you're my property. Like, it's like you're not going to go anywhere. This is not, and your person saying like, I want to come to you. And I'm realizing, but it's like, well, who's going to make that decision? And why would you listen to a karmic instead of actually take the time to get to know the person that you were interested in? Because this person doesn't trust themselves. So they have intimacy issues. So the whole thought of, you getting what that karmic never got is what is really, I would say, the underlining energy. The underlining energy is the fact that you're like this karmic, that your person's in a karmic contract, and your person, yes, has a low self-esteem, but they have to get out of that situation in order to deal with it, and we don't know how long that's going to take. Do they want to? Yes. But what I see is that karmic is just like anything that they can put as an obstacle, they're putting in as an obstacle, because they know the minute that obstacle is removed, that your person's going to go straight, make a beeline straight to you. And so as long as they don't go to you, this karmic is fine, because once they go to you, they're not going to keep that karmic in their life, and that's what this karmic knows. So it's like, I have to keep this person down. So yeah, the best thing that we could do for this reading is say, well, why did you attract this person into your life? I mean, because eventually they're going to come to the realization, or that karmic is just going to fucking lose their mind. And either way, the relationship is going to end with fireworks, trust me. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's pick from this way, because to prove a point, usually, like I said, there's like a big, like, it doesn't end well. It doesn't, these type of relationships. We see again, emotional force. And the emotional force is the fact that, that this person was living detached and disassociated for a long time, and that they can't. They're going to break free eventually. This is what is to find self. So they might even do some healing in between. And they know that it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot it's going to take a lot to get away from this person, and possibly even to be able to come back to you, but this person's, as far as right now, they're going through this dark night of the soul, but pretty much it's happening now, that this is the beginning of the end for the karmics, that connection, because they have unconditional love for you. That's what's moving them. So again, we see it unconditional, like it's this person can't help it. And that's what it would actually take to get away from this crazy person, when you think about it. I mean, because this person can scare the crap out of you, like they are 24/7 on it, for a long time. It's pushing this person into transformation. It definitely, the karmic, it backfired. This person's transforming. It's happening right now, because they're going through the awakening. So, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I would say that that's what's pushing them to come back. And like I said, the karmic just exposed themselves. And we see again, why did you attract this person into your life? I just wanted to see, well, were they going to do anything? And Spirit says that they're in the process of it. I meant come back, but Spirit says they have to do that first in order before they come back. But yes, they're coming back. And so, and understand that makes sense, because when somebody makes somebody step into a better energy of themselves, you made this person into a better version of themselves. That karmic was keeping them in a low vibration, being like, I don't care if you have flings left, right, and crazy, just don't leave me. It's like, that's not cool that this person was living like that, acting like a martyr for somebody else. I mean, that's, all of it was messed up. So Spirit says, we see love, suppression, inner authority, sing, hope, and dance. So yeah, some a mixed bag of nuts here, because love, obviously, if you didn't grow up in an environment where you really felt nurtured, loved, and it could be, well, I grew up like, as long as I, did what my parents wanted me to do, or we grew up in that environment, because we see suppression. So when we're not allowed to have our unique unfoldment process, there's a sense of not really feeling secure within ourselves. We can listen to other people and take their advice, but not until we actually have our own experience or try something do we actually know. Because knowing is, there's a clairsentient that goes with that knowing. Oh, I don't know, I just know. That's claircognizance. But we actually have to do it in order to know. So you might have been somebody that was a clairsentient, somebody that learned by doing. So if you were suppressed because someone said, no, no, you're not going to try that, we don't have time for that, you wouldn't be good at that, you need to do this, you need to do that. When we're not able to find our own being, like our own, that's an unfoldment process too, by the way. And we can't have that unique unfoldment process if our parent is constantly coming in being like, no, no, you shouldn't do that, or the way that you're doing that is wrong. Or, yeah, and understand, like, they're questioning. It's okay that a parent gives support, but as far as continuously judging or criticizing, all of that is that where you listen to your inner authority, even though, you know, you were suppressed. It was a suppressed environment, but you still did the best that you could do. You had always hope for a better time, but there was a hard time of going with the flow of life. Dancing to me is that when we're fully grounded and we're able to go with the flow of life, we can't do that. We can't do that if we're worried about who's in our environment or what our family is going to say or what this person's going to do. We're always going to then, you know, tone it down. We're not going to shine our light that much. We're not going to put in as much effort because, well, we're more concerned about pleasing other people, right? So we learn not to use our voice. We learn not to speak and set boundaries. So when we don't know who we fully are and like feel good about who we are, and that means your contribution to humanity, like what you do for a living, helps you like enjoy who you are. Your friends help you enjoy who you are. Your hobbies and interests, get to know. When you've had a love affair with yourself, really know who you are. That you're like, I know I'm a good person. I like who I am. The spirit says it's hard when you grow up in that environment where you're suppressed, because you're going to realize that you're going to settle for a lot less than what you deserve. And it's because you're coming more from a place of fear. If you're not asking for what you need, setting boundaries, stepping into who you are. Because if you don't really fully step into who you are, and that's again by putting your time and energy and you're focusing your money and all your resources towards, again, things that are going to grow you to help become you, that the path unfolds while you're on it. So you don't have that much time to waste with a person that is like not strong within themselves. This person was never strong within themselves. They always created the illusions. So again, you eventually saw that it was an illusion, but you would have saw it a lot sooner. The thing is, this person invested a lot of time too. And that's the thing. They didn't think they'd even have a feelings for you. But the thing is that you were the only one true thing. You were true. This person like actually grew a relationship because it was real, and they didn't know like the loss of it until it was completely gone, and that was after they treated you really bad. And so that's, again, we can see why you attracted this person. But spirit says you still need to transmute the negative energy, otherwise we don't fully heal, right? So we have to do something with that energy. And so we'll see again, what are we expected to do? And I wanted to also pull from another deck also. I think I like this deck. Is that yes. Well, we'll do this like, and then the last deck, which is that I only pull one card from. Okay, so transmutation process. Look, again, you had to go through this experience to transform. And when you do transform from receiving the wisdom, and the wisdom was again to be, like utilize your discernment and be like, you're not really giving me anything because as long as you don't really know and you stay away from me because you listen to somebody else and you let all these obstacles get in the way, well, you're clearly not giving me anything. So you wound up going through the experience, and that's not easy to do because when you have feelings for somebody, you had to like choose you, acknowledge what you've gone through, and know and acknowledge how strong you are, spirit says. And again, the wisdom that you gained from it, when you gain that and you see things from a different perception, there's no more blockages. And those blockages that were stagnant within the physical body, spirit says they get released and you get a lot more energy. And that energy is to help you manifest a new life. And that's to harness your inner vitality to fuel your journey in life, powered by the divine. And well, what does that mean? Well, the air that we breathe, well, that's prana, it's chi, well, it's also spirit because God's ubiquitous. It's what gives us life. So when you clear those spiritual blockages that hold tension in the body, well, again, you have a lot more energy to help you on the grand journey, that you realize that it's not, life isn't perfect, that all experiences, good and bad, are what shape you into who you are. Now it's about you listening to your soul, right? To be like that you're on your soul's path right now, and being on your soul's path, that um you don't really know everything that's going to happen, but when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You don't need to be to know every step, that you're walking in faith, that you're listening. The only rule really is that you're listening to yourself, and that you're aligning your actions with your values. Because again, it's an unfoldment process that you don't know, but spirit says if you want good results, be vulnerable, like embrace your authenticity. That's what that means. It doesn't mean go and be vulnerable with people. It means, what's your passion? What's your hobby? What did you always want to do? What do you want to become? Be authentic, be true, become yourself, because then you become a magnet of who and what comes in, what's going to come into your life. When you become love, you attract love. And again, that's what clears these blockages from you. So spirit says be vulnerable, and everything is unfolding in divine time. That, we've heard that with relationships. Well, it's the same thing in life. Your opportunities, your work, as long as you are like true to yourself and putting out the energy the best way you know how. So it doesn't mean that you're not doing any work. It means that you're utilizing what's in your environment to help create you, to help grow you. And we know that because, hey, there was a block within your root chakra, and that's your connection to your ancestors, to mother and father. If you didn't have a good like attachment style to them, then what winds up happening is we see it play out in the karmic story, and then like within that. And so in order to heal it, obviously you got to see a different outcome. And spirit saying it doesn't mean that you're avoiding negative like experiences. No one can. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot my other cards that I said, my new deck. It was like, I've been also wanting to pull from this deck because, okay, so that tells us about being true to ourselves. And again, if you were suppressed and you weren't allowed to have your unique unfoldment process because that parent was always like, no, you should do this, and oh, don't do it that way. And they meant well, but spirit says it doesn't matter if a parent like is too much like that. It's like becomes like suppression, and if they don't do anything at all, it's bad. They have to find their balance, and most parents don't allow their children to have their own unique unfoldment process. you know they're too worried about school. They're too worried about what the Joneses think. They're too worried about other things, you know? Not a blame game, but we have to understand where it comes from to bypass the reptilian mind. And Spirit says, healing your projections will help you avoid co-creating discordant situations. So that's what it was. I feel like the perception. I mean, the projection here was more. I don't think that you were projecting anything. I feel like that's for the person that was connected to you, that they need to do that work. However, your reactions to those perceptions are the way for you to heal. So I guess we can say it's like you manifested this person just because you were not fully in your true power. You weren't coming from your true authentic self. You were coming from a version of kind of created more from your environment, where Spirit says that cuts you off from having a better connection to me, because we have to be authentic, we have to be real, because again, you're always listening to your higher self, your intuition, and that only happens in the now. And when you're in that energy, you're on in the unfoldment process, so you can't be fake. You know, understand? Like if you're fake, then your focus is on creating the illusion. It's not on actually creating what's there. And the universe knows it too. So the universe won't support that. And so Spirit says, when you fully access your inner being, you will process all the power of the infinite creative being, which again, that talks about God being inside of you, which is what I was saying. That now it's again, you'll be powered by Spirit to help you to actually heal this, which is a big deal. And by being able to see a different outcome of the experience, and being your beautiful, authentic self, it says it again, is your greatest contribution to the world. Spirit says you might not 100% know what your soul's path is. You know, like, oh, hey, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what is it? You know, and Spirit says to give and receive of love is your free will, but it's what you're passionate about, it's what calls to you. It's where you just lose your time, your energy, your focus, and your money, and that you got to feed it every day. Take some mustard seed, God makes that multiply, and you become it, and you become it, and you become it, to the point that the universe conspires to make that so, because that you're authentic, you're true to yourself, you're true to like whatever your mission is, and you're giving and receiving of love through it. You're at the highest vibration. And like I said, the path unfolds while you're on it. You don't have to worry. The only thing that you have to be is authentic. You have to be real. If you're wearing a mask, it's a no-go. This person was wearing a mask, and that's why it's a no-go. Like Spirit says, no, I only access that and understand. If you don't know 100% who you are because you weren't able to experience life, well, you're not coming from your true self either. And you might be like, well, I wasn't as messed up as this person. And Spirit just says there's only two energies, love and fear. This person helped you awaken, and you definitely helped this person awaken. And Spirit says, that's all I care. That's all I care, is that you evolve into better versions of yourself, to evolve back into the energy of unconditional love, which is your original energy, not these spiritual blockages that you created, shadows and illusions. None of that is you. And because those things, the shadows and the illusions, are what's going to create the experiences that you don't like, is discorded energy. Is like, why am I attracting that? And Spirit said, because of that. You know, like you have to know that you're the light, that you always have hope no matter the ordeal, have faith in a better future, that you turn the darkness into light, you open your heart to others and to God, and that you are spiritual strong, and you draw the light to you, and you shine with all your being. And that to me is like, we can't shine unless we really like love who we are and love what we do, and are connected to people through what we do. It's like, because we get energy from it. That's why you get energy from the divine, again, powered by the divine, and you can also get it from people through emotionally. And again, when a person doesn't emotionally give you anything, you wouldn't give them a lot of time. Obviously, you wouldn't even give them a half a slice of pizza. You'd be like, you can have the fucking crust. And if I like the crust, then I'm not giving you that either. Then I'll give you like the burnt part. Spirit says, have faith. Be confident that you will achieve your goals, that you live in the present moment. Again, only in the now do you get divine guidance and faith in the future. Firmly believe in your value within the universe and spirit. So that's why you attracted this person. You didn't know your value, is all. And that's why it's like you don't, when you know really who you are, you don't settle for less. It's like this person didn't know who they were. They're learning, they're discovering, they're healing. And unfortunately, you know, that karmic, like really your person trusted them, that there was someone close. It was someone that I feel like this person would have did anything for. And, they thought that they were a friend, someone that they stayed in their life. They dated at one time. And meanwhile, the person had a bad agenda the whole time. And so, you can be compassionate, but also know that this person needs healing. It's again now them coming back into your life and releasing this old energy and going through transformation helps, but you have to hold to a standard. You can never just let a person come back because they wouldn't know what to do. Again, it's still karmic mate. I didn't see twin flame on here anywhere. I saw karmic mate. And so again, karmics, we have the opportunity to have the reality play out the way that we would want it to play out. But understand, you're the one that's making it play out that way by holding to a certain standard. And that's because this person, just because they have the realization and realize and they're sorry, well, you're still going to need to teach them how you want to be treated. And you won't know that fully until you know your own worth, until you know, hey, you know what, I can get a lot of other things. If you only had, like, let's just say the dollar store to go food shopping in, you'd be like, okay, like it's okay. But let's just say now you get introduced to all these other food stores that have so much, and even maybe not even food shopping, you can go out to eat. And you have other options. And you're going to be like, do I really want to be with you? When I measure you up to everything, is it that? Am I connected to you because of love? Or is it something that I'm lacking? Is it codependent? Is it, and spirit says you wouldn't know because again, you haven't done enough for you because of that parent that was suppressing. Not a blame game. They gave you other gifts, they did other things, but this is an inside job, one that you have to do for yourself and one that your parents couldn't help you with, or school. This is your unique unfoldment process. All right, now I'm going to leave that there. Anyone have any questions? If not, I will see you at coaching. I think it's at 7:00. And we're going to be talking about different forms of manipulation. And I have another topic, but it's going to be a good class. So if you're interested, I hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you on tonight. I think I'm doing, I don't know, I may not have time to do a live stream tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Until next time, be true to you. Love yourself. Remember that you teach people how you want to be treated by how you're treating yourself, not by what you say to them, but by how you're treating yourself. Bye-bye.